So we are discussing the series of Madhurya Kadambani, in that we discussed Adhu Shraddha, Sadhu Sang, then Bhajan Kriya, then Anartha Nivriti. In Anartha Nivriti, we discussed Sukrutut Anartha, Duskritut Anartha, then Aparadh. And from many days, now we are discussing about Aparadh. So in Aparadh also, we discussed many aspects, and one of the aspect was giving respect. So for highlighting and speaking or understanding it, we came to the section of Lord Kapila, where Lord Kapila speaks about that what to say of respecting devotee. You have to respect even a living entity. And because of pride, we are not able to respect. And the moment respect goes down, offense happens. That's why if we see our Vaishnava etiquettes, they are centered around giving respect. All the Vaishnava etiquettes are only for one purpose: to give respect to Lord, to give respect to devotees, to give respect to the paraphernalia which is connected to the Lord. So respect is a very important aspect. And the moment somebody does not respect, then he naturally develops offensive attitude, offensive mentality. In fact, the lack of respect is a sign of having pride or offensive attitude. That is one of the reasons. The moment the great sages in the past, they would see someone not respecting, they would curse, knowing that there is some offensive attitude involved or there is pride involved. Because respect means you consider that person more better than you. Respect means you can see that person in connection to God. But when we forget, then naturally we have some pride or we have offensive attitude. So in the similar series, we were discussing this pastime of Indra offending Brihaspati. So Indra, we discussed last time that how, because he got so much opulence, and that is why he became proud because of that opulence. And that is the nature of the material opulence, that one becomes proud. Although all the vibhutis, they come from the Lord, but then because of our material consciousness, we identify and think that these vibhutis are mine. Everything belongs to the Lord, but in our mind, we separate it. In our mind, we separate it and think that, oh, this is for me. And the moment anything we disconnect from the Supreme Lord, it becomes the cause of trouble and entanglement. So although Indra was empowered by the Supreme Lord, and such opulence is given, but then still he become proud. And we see even the demigods, when they become proud, then they have to suffer. So here, when Indra became proud, and one of the aspect of pride is that we can't respect others. So his own guru came, his own spiritual master came, Brihaspati. And he saw also Brihaspati. But he was so mad in thinking oneself to be so great and enjoying all what was meant for him, that although he saw Brihaspati, but then he did not pay obeisances to Brihaspati. So that is the nature of this material opulence. That's why who are seriously seeking devotional service, actually they don't want material opulence, because they know that it is binding in nature, it is entangling in nature. That's why when Kunti Maharani is saying that it is so deep rooted to identify with material opulence. So she says, Akinchan Gocharam, only one who is not having any material opulence or who does not identify with any material opulence, he only can helplessly chant the holy names of the Lord. Otherwise, anyone who identifies with material opulence cannot helplessly call out the holy names of the Lord. And it is true. Like suppose when we are chanting the holy names of the Lord, and we are thinking, I am very special, I am very great, I have done so many things, I know so many things, I am so skilled, I am so strong, I am so wealthy, I am so beautiful, I have so many followers, I am so charismatic. If these kinds of thoughts are there in ourselves, then naturally how we can call out the holy names of the Lord? Holy names of the Lord can be called out when we helplessly depend on the Lord. And as I was discussing last time, that these two things, the enjoying attitude and the pride, these two are main things to stay in the material world. They are two main bindings in the material world. One is desire to enjoy, and second is the pride. And that is the reason material energy will always make sure that these two things they remain. And that's why 24/7 you will find our mind commentary is centered around these two aspects. The moment we see a sense object, mind says enjoy it. And the moment we do something, mind glorifies. You are very special. You don't know what to, you also don't know, others also don't know about you. You are so special. Anything you will do, mind will give commentary. Actually, no one is able to understand. Slowly, gradually, you will find all of them will remain here. Soon Vakunta Viman will come only for you. Or, after Prabhupada, it seems, you are the next Acharya who will deliver the whole world. And if you tell your mind, but what about that devotee? He is doing more better than me. That is his karma. What I am doing, that is because of devotional service. And he is doing that is karma. And you'll find he will be now falling apart because of material energy. He will get entangled. But in my case, I am having a pure, sincere desire to serve. But what about you also enjoy sometimes? Oh, that is little bit only, not much. Soon I'll be able to overcome that aspect. It's not too much. We'll find when it comes to ourselves, mind will always give a good side of ourselves. There is a tendency like that because then only we will have pride. Sometimes you'll find a person who is staying in a chawl, Jhapparpatti, near station. Even they are proud. Even the person in the village who does not have anything, he may have a very poor background, still he is proud. As Prabhupada says, no, even the beggar is proud of his penny. Even especially the beggars in Bombay, they are very proud. Varangpur gives many examples how the beggars, they are very proud and they are very rich also. So we see these two tendencies are very deep rooted. That tendency that I am very special. We are special because of our relationship to Krishna, but we forget that aspect that I am part and parcel of Krishna. And we want to separately be special, and that is the cause of pride. Everyone feels I am very special. Sometimes devotees also you'll find they will say, Prabhuji, actually, my nature is like that, I can't see anyone unhappy. My nature is like that, Prabhuji, I can't see anyone going through like this. But he will not follow what his superiors are telling. Prabhuji, my nature is like that, not to follow anyone. That he will not do. And everyone feels very special about him. The thought process he is going through, what he is thinking about, what way he feels is good, like that. And that is the reason you will find previously the social media was not there, internet was not there. So people had these feelings, but then they would keep to themselves. But nowadays, because of social media, this and that and all, you see everyone is giving their opinion. In YouTube, you will find what Trump should do, what Trump should not do. Those people who are giving opinion, who are like not having any position in society. And they are talking about whom? Trump. गलत किया है ट्रम्प ने, ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए. अभी इनको कौन करेगा ट्रम्प कि क्या करना चाहिए क्या नहीं करना चाहिए. Sometimes you'll find in the general bogie of Indian train, two fellows from village are sitting and they are saying, मोदी गलत कर रहा है. मोदी को ऐसे नहीं करना चाहिए, मोदी को ऐसे करना चाहिए, देश गलत डायरेक्शन में जा रहा है. इसको ये भी नहीं पता है कि क्या क्या होता है. Like that, because everyone feels he has understood everything, he knows everything, like that. So this pride is very deep rooted, very deep rooted. And pride means we will be in the material world. Pride is a sign of our presence in the material world. Till the extent there is a pride in our heart, our name is there in the attendance register of material energy. Material energy knows ये तो हमारा ही candidate है, यहीं पर present रहेगा. And we have to know it is not easy to give up pride. Moha, Mad and Matsarya. First Moha goes, then Mad goes, then Matsarya goes. So initially the attraction for the sense object, that goes. After that, Mad goes, that is the pride which we have, like this. Sometimes you find a sadhu may give up all material sense objects, but it's difficult for him to give up pride. Because pride is more deep rooted, more deep rooted. And that's why you find even great demigods, and sometimes you find even devotees, they get affected by this aspect of pride. Like this. So Indra, naturally, in his case, just imagine how much opulence he has. Even the so-called meager opulence which people in material world they get on Earth planet, still they become proud, knowing that soon I have to die. No, and so much anxiety they have to take for that material opulence which they get in the material world. But in the heaven, they don't have to have so much anxiety. They don't have to work hard to have material opulence. It is awarded to them because of their piety. So just imagine how much proud they can become. So Indra became proud like that. That is the situation like that. There is a story once there was Indra was cursed for 1 year. So there was vacancy who will rule as Indra. So Nahusa was requested that can you please come and you be Indra for 1 year. He says, okay, okay, I'll be Indra for 1 year. So initially he was humble and simple, but then he was given a post and position and all the opulence. So he started identifying, I am Indra, and he started giving order. Hey, why इधर आ? क्यों तेज बह रहा है? धीरे चल, धीरे चल. So all demigods thought, अरे क्या हो गया, ये तो तू थोड़ा ज्यादा ही dominate कर रहा है. Then he saw Indra's wife, and then he said, hey, you come and be with me. And she says, no, 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 I will not be with you. And then he says, Are, how you can say no? So Indra's wife understood that Nahusa has become very proud. So she says, okay, you want to be with me? He says, yes. And she says, okay, then you should come in a palanquin carried by the great sages. And she named the sages also. You should have Agastya carrying you in the palanquin. Like that, she names the sages. And she says, yes, yes. And then he calls all the sages. All the sages, they come thinking that he will ask them advice. So he calls all the sages. इधर आओ सारे sages आते हैं. Yes, राजन बताइए क्या पूछना है आप? पूछना नहीं है, मेरे को पैलन में लेके चलो. क्या? हाँ, उठाओ. सेजेस बोले बाप रे, इतनी हिम्मत इसकी. फिर भी उठाया उन्होंने कि चलो राजा है. और इतना उसको पैशन था जल्दी पहुंचने का, तो बहुत जो है सेजेस तो बेचारे सतोगुण में आराम से चल रहे थे. ये पैलन में बैठा है, रजोगुण था. वो जो है उस स्थिति को देखकर वो चिल्लाने लग गया, सर पर सर पर सर पर सर पर सर पर सर पर, जल्दी चलो जल्दी चलो जल्दी चलो. तो अगस्त ऋषि थे, उनको बहुत गुस्सा आया. उन्होंने तुरंत जो है उसको कर्ष किया, सर्प सर्प यू बिकम किया. बेचारा वहीं से उल्टा होके नीचे जमीन पे गिरा सांप के रूप में. अब देखेंगे इस दुनिया में हर किसी को प्राइड है, हर किसी को प्राइड है. अब जानवरों में देखो, उनको भी प्राइड है. एक बिल्ली में भी प्राइड है, हर किसी में प्राइड है. उनको लगता है कि मैं बहुत बुद्धिमान हूँ, मेरे जैसे चतुर कोई नहीं है, मेरे जैसे इंटेलिजेंट कोई नहीं है. ऐसे हर किसी में प्राइड है. हर कोई अपने आप को बहुत स्मार्ट समझता है. यू सी एनी बिजनेसमैन यू टॉक, दे थिंक देमसेल्व्स वेरी स्मार्ट. I did this, then this happened, then this worked out, and no one was thinking, but then I could foresee. Like that they say. And it is the nature of the material world. We all meet failures also, but somehow we'll not remember those failures much. Whatever small success we have or certain things we have, again and again they will come in our mind. You are very special, you are very special. And suppose there is a person who only had failures, so you will find material energy will give them hope of success. कोई बात नहीं, बुरा समय आता है सबका. Jarasan, when he would get defeated by Krishna and Balram, so all the associates of Jarasan, they would counsel him. Say, don't worry, बुरा समय आता है. जब बुरा समय आता है तो शेर को भी छुप के रहना पड़ता है. But don't take up, don't give up. And then finally, when 17th time, 18th time, when he came and Krishna and Balram ran away, he became so happy that, see, today, finally my Kala has come. Krishna and Balram, they are running. Like that. So this pride is very deep-rooted, very deep-rooted. And we have to know these are the signs of forgetfulness of Krishna. We have to know these are the signs of our staying in the material world. These are signs of how far we are from Krishna consciousness. So Indra became proud, and the moment you become pride, then what happens? You can't give due respect to deserving people. And so Brahaspati came, his own spiritual master, can you imagine? And then still he could not pay obeisance like that. That's why this is respect is very important aspect. And in the proud heart, this is not possible to give respect. So now the beauty of Brahaspati knew what will happen in the future. So when Brahaspati saw Indra not paying obeisances to him, he did not become angry. He knew that he is gone mad by the pride and he will get reaction for it. I don't have to do anything. What Brahaspati did, he just disappeared. So especially in spiritual life, we have to be very careful. See, when Lord Kapila is talking this section of giving respect to everyone, which includes every living entity also. So what happens when materially we hurt any living entity who is not a devotee of the Lord? Then we get sinful reaction because of it. But when we offend a devotee of the Lord, then our spiritual life also goes and our material life also goes. So it is very serious offending a devotee of the Lord. So here Brahaspati was knowing that he is doing this and he will get a reaction for it. So Brahaspati just disappeared. And Indra in one way, just he did not do anything, but then he was supposed to pay obeisances and he forgot to do his duty of paying obeisances. And Brahaspati, without saying anything, he just disappeared. Now you see how the principle of E.A.S.Y Prasada, Bhagavad Prasada works here. Sometimes, disciple may feel, oh, my spiritual master does not know anything about me. I can do all this. But if we are doing something which is not pleasing to the spiritual master, then you'll find it will affect our spiritual life like anything. Why? Because Yasya Prasada Bhagavad Prasada. By the medium of the super soul, all this happens. Our spiritual master may be very far off, but if we are trying to sincerely render devotion service here, then Krishna within the heart of the spiritual master helps him to know that we are doing our devotion service very nicely. And we are encouraged, we are given mercy. But if you are doing something which is displeasing to the spiritual master, then in a short time we see that how our taste for spiritual things go away. There are so many examples in the scriptures where at one time they were practicing spiritual life, but then they offended and then they lost all that taste. Swabri Rishi, can you imagine, was so sincere and was so serious that he wanted to avoid any distraction in his spiritual practices. And for that he went deep within the water. Can any of us think also how serious and sincere he was? None of us will have that intensity of seriousness that you want to avoid, so much distraction that you will go inside the water to do austerities. Very difficult. But Swabri Rishi had that intensity. But then he happened to curse Garuda. And our acharyas, they explain that his curse to Garuda was not because of compassion to the fishes, but because of his desire to control. And because of that curse, what happened? He got attracted to two fishes meeting. And he became agitated. He came out and finally ended up in marrying 50 daughters of Mandhata. And he lost all his tapobal. So we see that the moment we displease devotees, the moment we disregard devotees, the moment we don't give due respect to the devotees, the moment we offend devotees, It may not be seen on the surface, but just a matter of time, you will find that particular devotee will lose taste for spiritual life. And he will have a lot of attraction for material things. Or he may lose even material opulence also. So it's very serious, very serious. These are the subtle sciences that the pleasure of spiritual master, the pleasure of devotee, that's very important. So here we see in case of Indra, he could not understand this. And he, in one way, could not offer his respect to Brihaspati like that. In one lecture, His Holiness Anartha Maharaj was telling, what is required is that we simply remain humble in our desire to serve Vaishnavas, and we are sincere and strict in following the principles of bhakti. Where these two ingredients are there, there is. You are telling that if we are simply humble and sincerely trying to follow the principles of bhakti, then it will help us to have enthusiasm to chant the holy names of the Lord. So here, because he could not pay his respect to Brihaspati, and Brihaspati just left, it's not that he told him something or he cursed him, nothing. Actually, a pure devotee or devotee getting displeased, that itself starts affecting a person. So Brihaspati know that he will get reaction for his own mistake. I don't have to do anything. He just left the assembly. And Indra, the moment Brihaspati left, then he came to know that, oh, what I have done? I disrespected my spiritual master. Like, so not giving respect also is a disrespect. So he's saying, I disrespected my spiritual master. Sometimes it happens, some people, they get some success, or they may have certain understanding about certain devotee, and then they may not respect them. So actually, whatever it is, some devotees may have some differences, some devotees may have different way of serving, but we can't afford to disrespect them. Srila Prabhupada says even Mayavadi sannyasi, if we see, we should pay respect to him because he's on a transcendental path. He may have different philosophy. So we have to know that the aspect of respect is very important. We see Lord Ram, he exemplified this. He would respect everyone. You see, even Lord, he although is Supreme Personality, but when he was going in the forest, he was respecting all the sadhus, he was respecting all the sages. When Guha in the forest introduces his mother to Lord Ram, that my dear Lord, she is my mother. Then Lord Ram starts paying respects to the mother also. Oh, she is your mother. Then he starts paying respect. So that is one culture we have. And the moment we pay respect, then lot of blessings we can get. That is the beauty of respect. But if we disrespect, then lot of disgrace comes. Like that. So we should try our best where we give due respect to all. We hear about Raghunath Goswami, 2000 obeisances he would pay every day. Can you imagine 2000? And how he would remember different Vaishnavas in mind, and then he would pay obeisances daily. So those Vaishnavas physically were not there in his presence, but still in his mind he would remember and pay obeisance. In our case, at least when physically they come, we should pay respect. Remembering in the mind and paying respect is too much. But at least physically when they come, you should pay respect like that. It's very important. Now Indra realized that, oh, I have done such a mistake. My spiritual master, he became displeased. And then now he is regretting. Allah, I have committed because of my lack of intelligence and my pride in my material opulence. I failed to show respect to my spiritual master when he had entered the assembly. And thus I have insulted him like that. So now he's saying that Allah, because of my pride, this thing happened. Although I am the king of demigods, in mode of goodness. I was proud of a little opulence and polluted by false ego. Under the circumstance, who in this world would accept such riches at the risk of falling down? Alas, I condemn my wealth and opulence. So as I was saying, those who are sincere devotees, actually they condemn material opulence because there is a tendency to get affected by it. So same way Indra also is saying that who will accept this material opulence which brings the risk of falling down? So alas, I condemn my wealth and opulence. Like this, we see in its case of Indra, Prabhupada is writing in the purport that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kamitava, dvita kame. See, I don't want any of them because these are obstacles in taking shelter of Krishna. So even the demigod, as great as Indra, who is having so much mode of goodness, but then still he got affected by the pride like this. So he is condemning himself that, oh, I could not pay respect to my spiritual master like this. And yeah. Then he says, one who is situated on the exalted throne of a king should not stand up to show respect to another king or Brahmana. It is to be understood that he does not know the superior religious principle. So this now, Indra is saying that even if somebody is a king, but if he does not stand up to pay respect to other king or Brahmana, that means he does not know the religious principles. Like this. Even great kings we hear when the sages would come, they would stand up from their throne and then they would come and then they would fall flat at the feet of these sages. We see Vishwamitra Muni coming, Lord Ram coming, Dasrath Maharaj coming and then paying respects to Vishwamitra Muni. Because they know that how these are the devotees who are very dear to the Supreme Lord. So they knew that, so that's why they would pay respect. So Srila Vishwanath Thakur says that when a president or king is sitting on the throne, he does not need to show respect to everyone who comes within the assembly, but he must show respect to superiors like spiritual master, Brahmanas and Vaishnavas like this. So this is very important that we pay respect to all of them. And then he's quoting example also when Lord Krishna was sitting on the throne and Narada entered the assembly, even Krishna stood up. See, Lord himself is showing by his own example. Even Krishna stood up and then paid respectful obeisances to Narada. Narada knew that Krishna is the Supreme Lord and Krishna knew Narada was his devotee. But although Krishna is the Supreme Lord, Narada is a devotee. Lord observed religious etiquette. Since Narada was a brahmachari, a brahmana and a devotee. So even Krishna is showing by his own example that how we have to pay respect to them. A civilization in which the people do not know how the representative of Narada and Krishna should be respected, how society should be formed, and how one should advance. A society concerned only with manufacturing new cars and new skyscrapers every year, and then breaking them to pieces and making new ones, maybe technologically advanced, is not a human civilization. So actually any society which is not centered on these principles cannot be a happy society. So they may have cars, they may have motor gadi, and they may have skyscraper building, they may have a lot of technology, but they'll not have happiness. But a society which is centered around these Vedic principles of keeping God in the center, respecting others, having attitude to serve others, that society may not be technologically or materially advanced, but that society will be a happy society. And we see that India was like that. In India, the people were very happy because there was a culture of respect. They had trustworthy relationships. They would keep God in the center. And that's why they could experience more happiness. But nowadays we see in the Western world, they have so much technology. And that technology only is making them mad. People are having so many mental issues. People are having so many relationship issues because of technology only. And now they are only questioning that are we advancing or something else is happening. So this is a civilization where respect is in the center. A society without Vedic laws and regulation will not be very helpful to humanity. As stated in this verse, Dharmam te na param viduhu. Such a society does not know the aim of life and the highest principle of religion. So a society which is not centered around respect or these Vedic principles is not a human society. Leaders who have fallen into ignorance and who misled people by directing them to the path of destruction, in effect boarding a stone boat, and so too are those who blindly follow them. A stone boat would be unable to float and would sink in the water with its passengers. Similarly, those who misled people go to hell and their followers go with them. Right? So he's saying that how these leaders who don't know these principles, so they themselves are sinking, that means they themselves will further entangle, and the followers also will entangle with them. Right? Those who don't know these principles. So we have to know that sincerity means to follow Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. We have to know that when we align our life as per these principles which are mentioned in the Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, then we can have success. And all three things are equally important. This tripod is very specially made by the Supreme Lord. Right? Some of us may say, "Oh Prabhu, I am following Shastra. I read in that particular Upanishad, this particular verse says this, so I am following that particular verse." So if we directly read the scripture and we directly try to apply what is in the scripture, then we may confuse ourselves. Because Shastras, they talk as per the audience. There are different instructions in the scriptures for different level of audience. If you read Bhagavad Gita, which Krishna spoke to Arjuna, that Bhagavad Gita talks about action. If you read Bhagavad Gita, which he spoke to Uddhava, that Bhagavad Gita talks about renunciation. So different instructions are there in the scriptures. So if we take as per our own mind and whim, then we will confuse and we will not be able to take benefit from the scripture. So that's why it is mentioned, okay, Shastras are there, but then you approach Guru. Guru will tell you from the scriptures, okay, this one you should practice and this one you leave it. Like this. Now, suppose somebody goes only to Guru and that Guru is speaking, but he's not speaking from the scriptures. So we cannot follow that Guru. Guru has to speak from the scriptures. Okay, he can choose that for the audience at his level, this can be spoken, but then he can't manufacture himself. He has to speak from the scripture. And that is the reason you see how authentic Srila Prabhupada was. Any lecture you take of Srila Prabhupada, how many verses he quotes, how authentic he is. That is the sign of a bona fide Guru. So Guru will speak from the scriptures. Guru cannot speak without scriptures. At the same time, we cannot only approach the scriptures. Same way we cannot approach a Guru who is disconnected from the scriptures. And then sadhus also. So Guru is speaking certain thing. Sometimes like Guru may not know all the details of a candidate or a disciple. But the disciple is staying with the sadhus. They know many details. And suppose, disciple goes to Guru that, Guruji, please guide me how I should move forward. And Guru tells him that, Prabhu, you should chant 32 rounds daily. Become very serious devotee. Now when the sadhus they hear, they laugh, अरे बाप रे 16 तो होता नहीं है इससे अच्छी तरीके से गुरुजी ने क्या इंस्ट्रक्शन दे दिया इसको. Is it not? So sadhus are also very important. So Guru, before giving instruction, he will talk to the sadhus who know more about him. That प्रभु ये इसको कैसे गाइड करें. फिर बोलेंगे कि महाराज आप इसको बोलो 16 माला ही ध्यान से कर ले. मोबाइल यूज करता है माला जप करते समय, मोबाइल यूज ना करे उतना ही बहुत है इसके लिए. फिर गुरुजी उनको बोलेंगे कि ठीक है आप इतना कीजिए. तो तीनों का कॉम्बिनेशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. एंड these three are not separate. Sometimes devotees they see them as separate unit. No, these three are one unit, and each one should nourish our relationship with other two. When you read scriptures, the scriptures will talk about taking shelter of Guru, serving the Vaishnavas. So when you read the scriptures, they will help you to take more shelter of Guru and sadhus. When you go to a guru, guru should help us to understand that please read scriptures, please serve the sadhus. So guru will help us to have more better understanding and relationship of the scriptures and the sadhus. When you go to the sadhus, they should help us to have more shelter of guru, and they should direct us to the scriptures. So each one helps us to have more better understanding and relationship with other two. So like that, this tripod functions. And this tripod is very important to have a practical understanding and a bona fide understanding for our spiritual advancement. So practical understanding will come by the help of sadhus. Bona fide understanding will come by having connectivity with the scriptures, like this. So when we have all these three, then we can make nice spiritual advancement. Otherwise, it is very difficult. So here we see that those leaders who does not know this, and then they are manufacturing something, philosophy, and then they have so many followers, but all of them, they are going to hell. Right? So all this, now Indra is thinking. Therefore, with great frankness and without duplicity, now I shall bow my head at the lotus feet of Brihaspati. So many times one may not be very careful about this aspect of giving respect, and one may feel ठीक है, कुछ हो भी गया तो माफी मांग लूंगा. But it is not easy. It is easy to pay respect, but it is not easy to first not pay respect and then to ask forgiveness. What is more easy is that in the first place only you pay respect. So Indra is intelligent. He is thinking, oh ठीक है, मैं चला जाऊंगा, माफी मांग लूंगा. लेकिन बृहस्पति हैं, उनके स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर हैं, वो गायब हो जाते हैं. इंद्रा हर जगह ढूंढता है, लेकिन उसको गुरुजी ही नहीं मिलते. मतलब गुरुजी कहाँ चले गए? क्योंकि बृहस्पति चाहते थे कि ये माफी ना मांग पाए, और बृहस्पति चाहते थे कि जो इसने गलती किया है उसका फल इसको मिल जाए. सो इट इज नॉट इजी. समटाइम यू डिसरिस्पेक्ट एंड ऑफेंड, and then you think I will ask forgiveness, but that forgiveness you may ask, but till the time that devotee forgives you, you are not forgiven. So although the devotee may say ठीक है कोई बात नहीं, but in his heart he may not have forgiven you, and till the time he forgives you, that offense remains. So it is far safer, easy and better that in the first place only we pay respect. Otherwise it is very difficult, very difficult. In the scriptures it is mentioned, if you ask forgiveness from the offended devotee, and if you see that he is not forgiving you, then you have to keep serving him till the time his heart melts to forgive you. That is the injunction which is given in the scripture. But how many of us will have that humility to do so? हम में से बहुत सारे लोग तो कुछ समय के लिए करेंगे तो बोलेंगे भाड़ में जाओ, कोई और दूसरे वैष्णव के पास चलते हैं. करेक्ट ना? It is not easy to have mercy of the Lord. It is not easy to be humble. It is not easy to respect everyone. इसलिए माने ना मान देना कीर्तनीय सदा हरि बहुत मुश्किल है. There is a incident, no, that Bhaktivinoda Thakur says कि एक साधु आया, उसने बोला कि मुझे भक्ति करना है, भजन करना है. तो उनके गुरु ने बोला कि ठीक है, उसके लिए आपको तेनादपि सुनी चेना तरो रपि सहिष्णुना अमाने न मान देना कीर्तनीय सदा हरि फॉलो करना पड़ेगा. तो वर्ष सुन के भाग गया, क्योंकि बहुत मुश्किल वर्ष है कि सबको सम्मान देना है और खुद कोई सम्मान की अपेक्षा नहीं करना है, ऐसा. But that is what is required to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. So Indra also is thinking that okay, I will ask forgiveness, but now Brihaspati he will try to search, but then he will not be able to find only now a spiritual master, like that. And especially you will find devotees are very sensitive. Sometimes as devotees, in our case, we will not physically offend anyone, in the sense we will not physically beat anyone. At least that much training is there. So mainly we offend by two things. One is by our speech, second is by not giving due respect. These are the only two ways by which we offend others, or we disrespect others, or we may not properly value the Vaishnavas. So we have to be very careful of these two aspects. If all of you also remember in your life, we get very hurt by certain comments by some devotees. We get very displeased by certain things. And we'll find because of that, that devotee, he withdraws himself. In his heart, he maintains distance from us. Although we may not understand, but it happens. And we all have a good experience of this. So we have to be very careful about our speech. And second is, we have to be very careful giving due respect to the deserving devotee. Like I saw His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he's so expert in not offending anyone by his speech. उनका स्पीच ही ऐसा है कि कोई हर्ट हो ही नहीं सकता. अभी recently we had a meeting, we went to meet Maharaj 2 days before. So Deendayal Krishna Prabhu was there, myself, Premanand Prabhu and Radheshyam Prabhu. So we were introducing to Maharaj, and then Deendayal Krishna Prabhu told Maharaj, I created so much trouble for you when you came to Lucknow. Then Maharaj said, yes, I remember I was very troubled by you. And then Maharaj said, but I was happy about it. मतलब कैसे बोल देते समझ में नहीं आता. अभी हमको कोई बोलेगा या तो हम बोलेंगे नहीं 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 ऐसा कुछ नहीं कहा था, ऐसा कुछ नहीं कहा था, और हार्ट में ऐसा रहेगा, अरे बहुत किया था, बहुत किया था. वो बोलने का हार्ट ही पता नहीं अजीब सा है महाराज का. कोई ऑफेंड होता ही नहीं है, वो बोलते ही ऐसा है, ऐसा रहता है. तो महाराज इज वेरी स्पेशल. So in our case also, we have to learn this art, how to speak in a Vaishnava society so that we don't hurt. Sometimes casually we pass some comment. Sometimes casually we make some remark. In relation to Vaishnavas, we have to be very careful. In relation to devotees, we have to be very careful that we don't speak which may hurt others. So there are only these two things which we have to be careful of: speech, and second thing is giving due respect. If you are doubtful, then do it. There are certain things where you are doubtful, you should not do it, and there are certain things where you are doubtful, you should do it. So like Prabhupada says, if there is a doubt whether I should go for clearing or I should not go for clearing, you should go. If there is a doubt, should I take one more chapati or should I not take? You should not take. Same way, when there is a doubt, should I pay respect or should I not pay respect? Is this a good devotee to be paid respect or not? We should pay respect, like that. And we should be very careful of our speech also. So best is speech can be purified by speaking more about Krishna. We can't keep mum, and it will take some purification. So best is we can try our best to speak Krishna consciousness. That is very healthy. And we can always try to speak which is where we are appreciating somebody, where we are encouraging somebody, where we are thanking somebody. So that is very nice. In that way we can be protected. So Indra is thinking that, okay, I will go and I will ask forgiveness. But see now, Brahaspati, he became invisible to Indra. And Brahaspati was spiritually more powerful than Indra. So Brahaspati was invisible and Indra could not see him. So although Indra searched everywhere, but he could not find Brahaspati. And then Indra thought, Allah, my spiritual master has become dissatisfied with me. Now I have no means of achieving good fortune. So see, those who are great souls, they have nothing to gain from us. Their presence is only for giving to us. So that's why we have to be very humble in front of devotees and especially the great souls. Because they have nothing to take from us. But their presence is only to help us, is only to benefit us. So with great respect, we have to pay respect and we have to serve them. So here he's saying my spiritual master has become dissatisfied and I have no means of achieving now good fortune. Why? Because if spiritual master is unhappy, then you cannot make any spiritual progress. You may get some material resources, you may get some material opulence, but you cannot make spiritual progress by displeasing one's spiritual master. It is considered a very serious offense on the path of bhakti. Like this. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that is a mad elephant offense. And offending a spiritual master means you are totally uprooting the seed of devotional service. Then bhakti beej is not there only now. Now you may have karma beej, you may have jnana beej, but bhakti beej is gone because of displeasure of spiritual master. And what is that bhakti beej? That is our desire to please the spiritual master, desire to follow the instructions of the spiritual master. So Indra is feeling now that alas, alas, what has happened to me? Now we will see that how Indra, he will lose all the material opulence also. He will come to his senses that what I have done, like this. So we have to know that how this respect is very important aspect. And if we are hearing our mind, who is always giving commentary that how great you are, how special you are, then we will not be able to pay due respect to the other devotees. That is why as devotees, we have to do two things. One thing is we have to hear about Krishna. And second is we should also hear about the devotees. We should read about great acharyas. We should read about devotees. We should read the scriptures to understand how special it is to have association of devotees in our life, so that we can give them due respect. But if we are hearing our own mind, then again and again this desire will come. I am very special. I am very special. In one lecture, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj was telling that initially when the devotees around, they start calling us Prabhu, Prabhu, Prabhu. Then after some time, we start identifying, I am Prabhu. And then after some time, we want to compete with Mahaprabhu. Like that Maharaj was telling. So there is a tendency like that. We have to know that we have to be very careful. And if we are not taking care of this aspect of respect, which is directly connected to pride, then it's a matter of time, we will surely commit offenses. And especially in a Vaishnava society, we have to be very careful. We are staying with Vaishnavas. So staying with Vaishnavas is compared like a fire. It can burn you also, but if you are careful and utilize, then it can purify you also. So we have to be very careful when we stay in association of devotees. We can't take it for granted and we can't take it cheaply. We have to see that how I value them, respect them, serve them, so that I can lead Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we'll end here. So next time now we'll continue from the PPT. Now this respect section is almost over. And we'll continue Aparad from the PPT of Madhurya Kalanand. Yes, we shall do.
Guruji, I want to share one point that you were saying just like when we were discussing or saying anything, there should be from our Shastra or proper authoritative sources. So actually what happened yesterday in my office, I was sitting and many like less associates have come to the office yesterday. So my senior and other two to three associates were sitting with me, and they started to discuss me like, tell me something, what good things, and tell me something, what we should do in life, what we should not do. They are very senior, but still they inquire such things from me. And when they asked many questions, and I also give the answer, and they were satisfied. And then at the end, when I started to leave the office, then they said very good point that I ask because they generally ask such questions. So they were saying that I ask questions from you because whatever you say, that you say directly from the Shastra, and I do not ask any question from other people's because they say that this is my thinking, that is my thinking, we should follow like this. But whenever you say anything, you directly say from the Shastra, or you directly refer from any spiritual books, such kind of things. So that's why I only ask you to discuss anything. So then I recalled the things that we should be very focused. Like whenever we are saying something, we should be say from the only from the scriptures and Shastra.
Yes, correct. Yes, Pavan Poo.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, आपने जो एग्जाम्पल भी दिया बृहस्पति वाला कि कैसे हमें प्रिकॉशन लेना चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर हमने एक बार ऑफेंड कर दिया तो फॉरगिवनेस मांगना थोड़ा ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट है, मतलब काफी डिफिकल्ट है वो चीज। लेकिन हमारे केस में प्रभु जी, जैसे हम कहीं पर ड्यूटी एसोसिएशन में रहते हैं, कभी फिजिकली भी ऑफेंड हो जाता है, जिनको हम जानते नहीं है, जैसे कभी यात्रा में गए हैं तो हो भीड़ है, कभी पैर किसी को लग गया, फिर कभी हम डांस कर रहे हैं या कहीं कुछ हाथ लग गया, और जब तक हमसे फॉरगिवनेस मांगे वो ड्यूटी, फिर वो बृहस्पति की तरह गायब हो जाते हैं। तो फिर उस केस में हमको क्या करना चाहिए प्रभु जी? मतलब अभी मेरे पर्टिकुलरली हुआ था ये, एक बहुत कोई
हाँ,
सीनियर कोई
एक
ड्यूटी थे।
इसमें देखिए क्या है, सीरियस ऑफेंस तब माना जाता है जब इंटेंशंस उसमें इन्वॉल्व होते हैं। अब जैसे कि इंद्र और बृहस्पति के केस में क्या हुआ, इंद्र ने बृहस्पति को देख लिया, and then he was supposed to pay respect, but he did not pay because of having a feeling of pride. So Lord sees the intention, what is our thought process. One of the reason why Agastya Rishi, he cursed Indradumna Maharaj to become Gajendra the elephant. Although Indradumna Maharaj with his closed eyes was meditating. Because Agastya Rishi could see he has a tendency to not pay respect. So we have to see the intention. Prabhupada says, if unintentionally something happens, and you tried your best to ask forgiveness and all, but it was unintentional, and you did not had any feeling of that sort, then those kind of offenses, when you chant in the morning, Vansa Kalpataru, those offenses are taken care of. But if attitude is of not paying respect, and that happens when we have a sense of pride, and then we don't pay respect, then that becomes offensive.
तो
Is it
इसमें क्या
okay,
प्रभु जी का
Pawan?
पॉइंट अप्लीकेबल नहीं होगा जो आपने अभी लास्ट बताया था कि हम अगर किसी हर्टेड डिवोटी ने हमें माफ नहीं किया है तो हमेशा ऑफेंस लगेगा ही। तो अब हमने किसी को कभी कुछ क्या पता बुरा लग गया, हमें तो पता नहीं चला, तो अगर उसने नहीं माफ किया है तो फिर उसका वो रिएक्शन नहीं आता है, भले ही हमने इंटेंशनली नहीं किया है।
हाँ, उसका नहीं आएगा, क्योंकि आपके हार्ट में ऐसा कुछ है नहीं कि आप उनको कुछ रिस्पेक्ट नहीं देना चाहते थे या उनको हर्ट करना चाहते थे। तो लॉर्ड क्या वो इंटेंशन देखेंगे। और फिर आपने, जैसे कई बार हम जाते हैं किसी से हमारा पैर छू जाता है, तो हम उनसे जो है अपने हाथ से उनको स्पर्श करते हैं और आगे बढ़ते हैं। लेकिन जहाँ पर इंटेंशन ऐसा है कि आई डोंट वांट टू गिव रिस्पेक्ट, आई वांट टू स्पीक नेगेटिव अबाउट हिम, तो वो इंटेंशन से ऑफेंस जो है सीरियस बन जाता है। ठीक है।
यस, थैंक यू। तो ये एक थोड़ा सा क्लेरिफिकेशन चाहिए, जैसे ये हमारे वैष्णव सोसाइटी में तो ठीक है, लेकिन बहुत से लोगों को ये अनईजी लग सकता है जो आपने बताया, जैसे पैर हम लोग हाथ से छूते हैं या वांछा कल रूप से बोलते हैं। तो ये सिर्फ हमें वैष्णव सोसाइटी में करना चाहिए, फिर बाहर जो और भी वैष्णव होते हैं जो जैसे श्री संप्रदाय में है या कहीं और है, मतलब हमें तो पता नहीं उनको कैसा लगता है। जैसे मुझे एक्सपीरियंस है कि जब मैं वैष्णव सोसाइटी में नहीं आया था तो कुछ जगह ऐसा कल्चर था, लोग ऐसा करते थे तो मुझे बहुत अजीब लगता था, ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हैं।
Yeah. So in our case, we generally stay with ISKCON devotees only. So in our case, mainly, majorly, we have to interact, deal, and associate with ISKCON devotee. So we have to follow them in the scenario of ISKCON. And if we see a sannyasi of other sampradaya, then we can pay respect. And if we see other devotees, then we can just hold our hand and we can say Hare Krishna like that.
थैंक यू,
ठीक है।
थैंक यू सो मच प्रभु जी।
थैंक यू। यस विशांत ब्रो।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। तो जी आपने एक पॉइंट शेयर किया था कि लाइक व्हेन वी रिमेम्बर इन आवर लाइफ वी फील दैट we take some distance from devotees whenever we get offended by their speech or something like that. So like I also see like in my life like sometimes ऐसा होता है कि किसी डिवोटी के स्पीच से या फिर उनके बिहेवियर से when we feel some like little uneasiness और उनसे अच्छा नहीं लगता तो we keep distance. So how like correct it is, how good it is, and if it is correct, like we may need the devotee in some services or like in sometimes. So how, like that time we feel little uneasiness to approach the devotee. So
Yeah. So see, initially we should first have a set of devotees with whom we have a natural thinking. So we should have some devotees with whom we have natural thinking, and we can invest to have a good relationship with them. Then we should work out to have relationship with second set of devotees, where we may not have good thinking like the first category, but then we know that they are devotees, and we have to become more broad-minded. We have to work more on accommodating them. Then we have to work on them. Uh, we may take time, we may go slow, but we should not think, okay, that devotee does not matter to me. That devotee is like that only. We should try our best to slowly, gradually have good relationship with devotees like that. And sometimes it happens that we also need time for our growth. Slowly, gradually, when we grow, then we also become mature, and then we are able to handle those aspects like that. Until then, it's not bad to keep distance and first have association with those with whom we have natural thinking. And slowly, gradually, we have to increase our spectrum of associating with devotees. You'll find those who are pure devotees, uh, they can respect everyone, and they can have relationship with everyone because they have come to that level. In our case, because we also have certain impurity, so naturally, when somebody's false ego crushes with our false ego, and it becomes painful. So initially, we need those devotees who are carefully handling our false ego. And then we have to become mature where we can carefully handle others' false ego. So like that, then slowly, gradually it happens. Okay.
yes, sir.
For this question, we asked Maharaj also, okay, Maharaj, if there is some devotee and he's maintaining distance from us, and we are trying to work on relationship, but then he's not. Then Maharaj said, no problem. You focus on your service. What can be done? Ha, ha, ha. ठीक है?
Yes, Raji. One more question, Raji, like
Hmm.
in relation to that Guru Sadhu Shastra.
Hmm.
So in our life also it can happen, but in like other people's life also, both way. Like sometime it happens, Guru gives some instruction through lecture or some way we ask question in the common. So गुरु जी ने कुछ उस मतलब डिवोटी को कुछ इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया ऐसा, या तो क्वेश्चन के थ्रू या तो लेक्चर के थ्रू, तो द डिवोटी फील्स कि आई शुड फॉलो दिस, कि मेरे गुरु जी ने ऐसा बोला है. बट जैसा कि आप बता रहे थे पूजी, जैसे मतलब बाकी जो साधु के साथ वो रहता है उसको पता है कि उसका कितना मतलब कैपेबिलिटी है कि कितना वो फॉलो कर सकता है. तो लाइक इन आवर लाइफ ऑल्सो इट मे हैपन कि मैं बोलता हूँ कि नहीं मेरे गुरुजी ने ऐसा बोला है तो मतलब आई विल फॉलो दिस, एंड आई मे नॉट हियर द अदर साधुस, लाइक एंड ऑल्सो इन अदर लाइफ ऑल्सो, लाइक व्हेन वी आर ट्रेनिंग समवन, सो द डिवोटी में से कि प्रभु जी मेरे तो गुरुजी ने ऐसा बोला है कि लेट्स से 2 आवर लेक्चर हियरिंग करना है, बट ही इज नॉट एबल टू डू अदर बेसिक थिंग्स. सो हाउ टू डील इन बोथ सिचुएशंस?
या तो इसमें क्या है, देखिए मैच्योरिटी रहना चाहिए सबको, साधुओं को भी, स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर को भी, और वो इंडिविजुअल को भी. जैसे जनरली ISKCON में स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर दे विल नॉट गाइड on these detail aspects. Spiritual master, they are advised in ISKCON that they can give only spiritual guidance, और वो स्पिरिचुअल गाइडेंस भी जो प्रभुपाद जी ने बताया है उसके बेस. आइडियली स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर्स आर नॉट सपोज टू गाइड कि आप 32 माला रोज करो, 64 माला रोज करो, या आप 3 घंटा बुक रीडिंग करो. जो प्रभुपाद जी बोल रहे हैं उसको रिपीट कर सकते हैं कि यू शुड चैंट 16, यू शुड डू दैट, यू शुड डू दैट. ये पहला चीज है. तो ये एक जनरल है, और इसमें ये स्टैटिक नहीं है ऐसा. अब क्या होता है, अगर डिसाइपल मैच्योर है, जैसे मानो गुरुजी ने बोला है, डिसाइपल गुरु के पास गया कि महाराज मेरा मन कर रहा है कि मुझे मैं 32 माला जप करना चाहिए अभी. तो अगर डिसाइपल मैच्योर है तो वो क्या करेगा, पहले साधुओं से भी पूछेगा, उनकी सर्विस अथॉरिटी, उनके बाकी जो साधु से बोलेगा, प्रभु अभी तो देखो मेरा उम्र 65 साल हो गया है, अभी तो मैं ज़्यादा सेवा भी नहीं कर पाता हूँ, और मेरा मन लग रहा है कि मैं ज़्यादा चैंटिंग करूँ। और वो लोग बोलते हैं हाँ आप गुरु से ब्लेसिंग ले लो और आप करो, नो प्रॉब्लम। एंड देन ही गोज टू गुरु एंड ही टेल्स टू द गुरु। तो जनरली अगर मैच्योर गुरु हैं तो वो क्या पूछेंगे कि आपकी सर्विस अथॉरिटी विल बी ओके इफ यू चैंट 32 राउंड। And then he says, no, no, Maharaj, I took permission from them. They are happy. And they said, if Guru blesses you, you can chant. Then Guru will say, okay, okay, yes, I am blessing you, please chant. तो एक ऐसे मैच्योरिटी रहता है इस्कॉन में। जनरली आप देखेंगे अगर डिसाइपल गुरु के पास जाता है किसी चीज को लेके, उसको लेके, देन दे विल कॉल अप टेम्पल प्रेसिडेंट और दे विल कॉल अप द असाइंड अथॉरिटी। तो वो डिसाइपल को मैच्योर होना चाहिए। कई बार मोस्टली प्रॉब्लम कब आती है, जब डिसाइपल मैच्योर नहीं होता है, ऐसा है। अब मानो कि अगर वो गुरु के पास गए और गुरु ने बोला है कि 2 घंटा रीडिंग करना चाहिए, तो फिर ही शुड डिस्कस विद लोकल पीपल कि गुरु जी ने ऐसा बोला है, तो जी आप बताइए क्या करना चाहिए, कैसे करना चाहिए। फिर देन दे विल से कि नहीं नहीं आप इतना मत कीजिए, यहाँ पर सेवा है और हमारे यहाँ पर कम्युनिटी हम 1 घंटा ही डेली बुक रीडिंग करते हैं। नेचुरली देन क्वेश्चन विल कम, बट प्रभु जी मेरे गुरु जी ने तो ऐसा बोला है। तो देन दे विल से डोंट वरी, विल टॉक टू स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर, खत्म। लेकिन क्या डिसाइपल इमेच्योर होता है तो दिक्कतें आती हैं, डिसाइपल मैच्योर है तो चीजें हो जाती हैं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, ऐसा।
ओके भाई, थैंक यू भाई।
और अब अगर यही डिसाइपल अब गुरु जी के पास जाता है कि गुरु जी अथॉरिटी तो बोल रहे हैं कि यहाँ सेवा ज्यादा है, आप 1 घंटा ही पढ़ाई करो, लेकिन आपने बोला 2 घंटा पढ़ो, तो उनके गुरु जी बोलेंगे हाँ तो आप ना स्लीपिंग और ईटिंग कट करो ना। उसके लिए डिसाइपल तैयार नहीं है। डिसाइपल भी क्या है, वो अपना भी हित चाहता है। करेक्ट ना।
यस भाई।
हाँ, तो गुरु के पास जाना है तो फिर फॉलो करना है, तो फिर स्लीपिंग ईटिंग कम कर लो। तो आइडियल है कि गुरु जी को भी पूछ के गाइड करना चाहिए, और डिसाइपल को भी सबको एक पेज में रख के फॉलो करना है। डिसाइपल को ये नहीं सोचना चाहिए गुरु जी ने बोल दिया वही मेरे लिए सब कुछ है, बाकी ये सब लोग तो क्या हैं, ये सब लोग तो ऐसे ही हैं। ही शुड वैल्यू एवरीवन, और सब एक पेज में आ जाए तो आगे आना, ऐसा होना चाहिए। और ऐसा होगा आगे चल के इस्कॉन में, कई बार होगा एक अथॉरिटी आपका ऐसे बोल रहा है, दूसरा अथॉरिटी ऐसे बोल रहा है, हमको क्या बोलना है, दोनों अथॉरिटी आप लोग आपस में बात कर लो, एक चीज बताओ। वी हैव टू सी दैट एवरीवन ऑन वन पेज, अदरवाइज तो हमारी भक्ति के लिए बहुत दिक्कत होगा वो, और ऑफेंसिव एटीट्यूड भी आ सकता है किसी के प्रति। यस पवन पूछ, संदीप रूप पूछ सकते हैं पहले।
थैंक यू भाई।
हरे कृष्ण। तो जी आपने बताया कि मायावादी को भी रिस्पेक्ट करना चाहिए डिवोटी में।
करेक्ट।
तो मैं एक बार मैं जा रहा था, मतलब रास्ते में, तो कुछ मायावादी सेफ्रॉन डिवोटी थे। तो मैंने हाथ जोड़ के उनको रिस्पेक्ट किया। तो उनमें से एक मेरे पास आ गए और उन्होंने मुझसे पैसे मांगने लगे कि चाय पीना उन्हें। तो मैं बोला कि पास में इस्कॉन टेम्पल है, अब वहां पर जाइए, वहां पर प्रसादम आपको पूरा मिल जाएगा, 1.5 किलोमीटर दूर है यहाँ से। तो उन्होंने कहा कि आप जाने के लिए पैसे दे दो। मुझे लगा कि अगर मैं पैसे दूंगा तो वो जाकर चाय ही पियेंगे। और तो गुरुजी मैं पैसे नहीं दिया। मेरा ऑटो आ गया तो मैं चला गया वहाँ। तो मुझे लगा कि वो अनहैप्पी थे। तो इस केस में तो जी कैसा रहेगा कि रिएक्शन मुझे लगेगा, मैं क्या
हाँ,
करूँ?
तो ये भी देखो एक चीज है, वी हैव टू ट्राई टू मेक पीपल हैप्पी, दैट डज नॉट मीन दैट दे विल बिकम हैप्पी। हमें प्रयास करना है कि हम सबको खुश करें, लेकिन अब क्या उनका भी वो है। तो एक बार भक्ति व्रत भागवत महाराज से हमने सवाल पूछा था कि महाराज हम प्रयास कर रहे हैं हैप्पी करने का डिवोटीज को, लेकिन कुछ डिवोटीज हैप्पी नहीं हो रहे हैं, तो कि दे वांट इन सर्टेन वे। तो फिर महाराज बहुत अच्छा उत्तर दिया। महाराज सेड मेकिंग डिवोटीज हैप्पी डज नॉट मीन दैट वी हैव टू मेक देयर ईगो हैप्पी। दे आर बिकमिंग अनहैप्पी बिकॉज ऑफ देयर मटेरियल ईगो। अंडरस्टूड ना। तो उसके लिए हमको चिंता नहीं करना है, हमको अपना प्रयास करना है प्रमाणिक तरीके से कि हम उनको हैप्पी करें। तो मानो ये मायावादी सन्यासी आपके पास आए तो आप बोल सकते हैं कि देखिए हमारे पास पैसा तो नहीं है, लेकिन आपको कुछ प्रसाद चाहिए तो हम प्रसाद दे सकते हैं, ऐसा। और अगर कोई जेन्युइन केस है, कुछ पैसा देते भी हैं तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं। एक बार हम लोग हरिद्वार में थे, मांग रहा था, बोले 50 रुपए दे दीजिए, हमको जाना है, कुछ नहीं है। तो हमने दिए कि जाओ आप बस में बैठ के चले जाओ। कोई अगर सफरन है, साधु है, और उसके मुंह से स्मेल नहीं आ रहा है, गुटखा वगैरह नहीं खाता है, तो दे भी सकते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। पॉइंट इज वी ट्राई आवर बेस्ट टू मेक पीपल हैप्पी, बट जरूरी नहीं है कि हर कोई हैप्पी हो जाएगा उससे, ठीक है।
हम्म,
यस पवन को।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी, आपने अभी ये जो विशांत प्रभु को जो आंसर दिया था उसमें मतलब चीज का डाउट रहा था कि अगर ऐसा केस होता है तब तो फिर स्पेशल मास्टर वो स्पेशल कैसे रहे हैं? तब तो स्पेशल मास्टर बाकी किसी एडवांस ड्यूटी की तरह हो गया, जैसे हमारे पास भी असेंबली में, मतलब वेस्ट कम्युनिटी में बहुत एडवांस ड्यूटीज होते हैं। क्योंकि स्पेशल मास्टर पर हम ऐसा बोलते हैं ना कि वो डिसाइपल का हार्ट समझते हैं, उनकी सारी कंडीशंस को समझते हैं। और हम कई बार जब ग्लोरिफिकेशन में सुनते हैं अपने मंदिर में, कई बार मतलब महाराज लोग का ग्लोरिफिकेशन में राधा गोविंद महाराज, राधा महाराज का, गोपाल जी स्वामी महाराज का, हम उसमें कुछ पास्ट टाइम्स पे ऐसे सुने थे कि कैसे पावर डिवोटीज ने बताया नहीं, लेकिन स्पेशल मास्टर को सब पता था कि उनके साथ क्या हो रहा है। ऐसा हमने सुना 2-3 बार। तो हम तो सुनते हैं कि स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर पूरा हार्ट जानता है, तो ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है कि वो ऐसा कुछ इंस्ट्रक्शन देंगे जो प्रैक्टिकली वो फॉलो नहीं कर पाएगा?
नहीं देखो, इसमें आपको थोड़ा प्रैक्टिकल रहना पड़ेगा। स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर हार्ट जानते हैं, वो किसका जानते हैं, किस स्थिति में जानते हैं, कितना जानते हैं, वो उसमें बहुत सारे पैरामीटर्स हैं। और कई बार तो ऐसे भी स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर हैं, वो आपसे पूछेंगे हुई डिसाइपल इज ही, उन्हीं के डिसाइपल है, फिर उसके लिए आप क्या बताओगे, बताओ।
मतलब मुझे तो थोड़ी इससे ज्यादा पता नहीं, मैं बस पूछ रहा हूँ क्योंकि हमने ऐसे
नहीं,
पास्ट टाइम सुने हैं
पॉइंट है,
ना।
नहीं तो पॉइंट क्या है ना, एक पास टाइम से हम उसको जनरलाइज नहीं कर सकते ना।
लेकिन मतलब ग्लोरिफिकेशन उस टाइम ऐसे ही बताते हैं, कैसे वो कि हमको ऐसा लगता है कि वो जानते नहीं, लेकिन स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर को सब पता होता है।
तो वही तो मैं पूछ रहा हूँ, कई स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर आपसे ही पूछेंगे कि आपका नाम क्या है, फिर कैसे आपके ही स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर पूछेंगे, तो उसको आप कैसे देखोगे।
नहीं पता है मुझे यार, इसलिए तो पूछ रहा
हाँ, तो सिंपल है, देखिए, जो भगवान चाहते हैं सुपर सोल के माध्यम से स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर को जाने, जितना जाने और जिसके बारे में जाने उतना उनको पता चलता है। इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर को हर चीज पता है, उनको डिटेल्स नहीं पता रहेंगी। अभी मैं कानपुर में क्या सेवा कर रहा हूँ, साधनाथ महाराज जी को नहीं पता है, हमने बताया। महाराज जी खुद पूछे व्हाट ऑल ऑफ यू आर डूइंग, तो हम बोलते हैं महाराज सुपर सोल विल बी टेलिंग यू। करेक्ट ना। तो इसमें बहुत सारे पैरामीटर्स है। क्या मैं उतना शुद्ध भक्त हूँ कि मेरे बारे में सुपर सोल अपडेट करें महाराज को? करेक्ट। क्या जरूरी है कि जो मैं सोच रहा हूँ वो अपडेट करें स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर को? तो जो लॉर्ड के अनुसार जो उनको लगता है कि ये उनको पता होना चाहिए या ये अपडेट होना चाहिए, ये उनको होना चाहिए, वो करते हैं। लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर को सब डिसाइपल का सब कुछ पता रहता है। बाकी ये रहता है कि सुपर सोल के माध्यम से अगर हम जेन्युइनली स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर को प्लीज करने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं, तो कृपा हमारे पास पहुंचेगी, क्योंकि सुपर सोल देख रहे हैं हमारे हार्ट में, और सुपर सोल जो है स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर जो है वो हैप्पी रहेंगे। समझ गए ना आप? तो जो इसेंस है उसमें प्रिंसिपल्स काम करते हैं। लेकिन आप डिटेल में देखेंगे तो डिटेल में तो दे हैव टू बी आस्किंग, ऐसा है। तो वो पूछते हैं, कोई भी अगर जैसे कि दीक्षा भी वगैरह भी होता है, तो जो काउंसलर्स होते हैं, टेम्पल प्रेसिडेंट्स होते हैं, उनसे दे पूछते हैं कि भैया आपको क्या लगता है इनके बारे में। तो वो बताते हैं कि हाँ ये ऐसा 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 है, ये भक्ति करते हैं। और वो पूछते हैं कि आप रिकमेंड कर रहे हो क्या? तो फिर वो डिवोटीज बोलते हैं हाँ मैं रिकमेंड करता हूँ, मैंने देखा है इनको इतने सालों से भक्ति करते हुए। तब फिर वो उनको रिकमेंड किया जाता है ऐसा करके। दूसरा क्या है, जब हम बोलते हैं स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर, शास्त्रों में जब भी ये गुरु आता है, तो गुरु वो एक व्यक्ति को ही नहीं बोला जाता है। गुरु तत्व है उसमें सब गुरुजन में आते हैं। अब लेकिन जो दीक्षा गुरु हैं उनका स्थान स्पेशल है, बिकॉज दे आर टेकिंग फॉर्मल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। लेकिन जब वो फॉर्मल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ले रहे हैं तो वो भी अकेले नहीं लेते हैं ना, वो भी बाकी वैष्णवों के मदद से लेते हैं। करेक्ट। अब जैसे आपके स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर थोड़ी ना आपको इंगेज करेंगे सेवा में, सेवा में आपको कोई और इंगेज कर रहा है। करेक्ट ना। और कुछ और पहलू शास्त्रों के। भक्ति शास्त्री आपके स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर थोड़ी ना करा रहे हैं आपका, भक्ति शास्त्री टीचर्स कोई और हैं, भक्ति वैभव टीचर्स कोई और हैं। तो ही इज टेकिंग योर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी थ्रू हेल्प ऑफ अदर साधुस। और ये हमारे में कंफ्यूजन कब आता है, जब हम इनको सेपरेट यूनिट देखते हैं। गुरु साधु शास्त्र अगर एक यूनिट आप देखेंगे तो इसमें कंफ्यूजन नहीं। गुरु का पोजीशन स्पेशल है, और जो साधु प्रभुपाद और गुरु के जो एक्सपेक्टेशंस है उसके अनुसार जीवन जी रहे हैं, दे आर ऑल्सो इन वन विथ द स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर एंड प्रभुपाद। करेक्ट ना?
तो गुरु जी हमें उन पास्ट टेंस को कैसे देखना चाहिए, जो हमें पास्ट टेंस सुनते हैं कि कैसे फिर मास्टर, वो एक हमने भी सुना था कि डिसाइपल वो प्लेनेट लीव करने वाला था, तो
हाँ, तो
महाराज
जब
को
आप
बताया।
प्लेनेट लीव करने वाले होंगे तब उस टाइम पे आपके स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर को पता चल जाएगा।
मतलब और भी
हर
बहुत
एक
सारे उसमें, यही एक नहीं, मतलब और भी कैसे महाराज को पता चल गया था कि एक भक्त आ रहे थे, तो उनको प्लेट अभी इस बार गए थे जी, भी तो बताया कि कैसे बता रहे थे कि प्लेट बनाने के लिए बोला, उन्होंने बोला कि वो कभी रात को प्रसाद नहीं लेते, उन्होंने कहा नहीं बनाओ आप, जबकि कोई बात भी नहीं हुई थी, और रात को उस दिन प्रसाद लिया वो उन डिवोटी ने। और ऐसे हमने राधा गोविंद महाराज के भी बारे से सुना था।
नहीं, तो आप देखो, आपको मैच्योरली ये सारे पास टाइम थोड़ा सुनना पड़ेगा। इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि उनको सब कुछ पता है। यही तो मैं आपको बार बार बता रहा हूँ कि जो भगवान चाहते हैं उनको पता चले, उनको पता चलता है। लेकिन आप अगर ऐसे मान रहे हो कि सब कुछ पता चल जाएगा, तो ये नहीं होगा कि पवनपुर ने प्रसाद नहीं खाया फिर स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर का फोन आएगा, पवनपुर आज आपने प्रसाद नहीं खाया है। ये सब नहीं होगा। वो तो गुरु के ऊपर है, कृष्ण के ऊपर है, उनको क्या रिवील करें नहीं करें। तो ऐसे पास टाइम सारे डिसाइपल्स ऐसा पास टाइम्स बता रहे हैं क्या? सारे डिसाइपल्स तो नहीं बता रहे हैं। बाकी डिसाइपल तो सोच रहे हैं कि हमारे साथ कब होगा ऐसा। करेक्ट ना? तो वो क्या है, वो तो गुरु और कृष्ण के बीच में है। कुछ चीजों में जैसा भगवान चाहते हैं, जैसा गुरु की इच्छा होती है, तो सुपर सोल उनको रिवील कर देते हैं। लेकिन आप ये सोच रहे हो कि हर चीज हर शिष्य के बारे में गुरु को पता है, तो प्रैक्टिकल नहीं है ऐसा।
क्या इसका ये मतलब हो गया पूरी कहीं ना कहीं कि गुरु से ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हम डिवोशनल प्रिंसिपल्स पे काम करें, गुरु बस सिर्फ एक मीडियम है, तो जो डिवोशनल प्रिंसिपल्स बताए जाते
ऐसा
हैं गुरु
नहीं
द्वारा।
है। आप डिवोशनल प्रिंसिपल जो है उनको, आप जो प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं वो तो गुरु के माध्यम से ही आ रहे हैं ना आपके पास में।
वही तो कह रहा हूँ कि बस गुरु जस्ट सिर्फ एक मीडियम है, तो हमको ऐसा समझना चाहिए।
तो डिवोशनल प्रिंसिपल्स का एक महत्वपूर्ण अंग तो यही है कि गुरु को प्रसन्न करो।
मेरा मतलब पूरी इस केस में था कि जैसे हम बाकी ड्यूटीज को भी हम पसंद नहीं करना चाहते हैं, सब कुछ का मतलब जो भी ड्यूटीज बोलते हैं पूरा अपना सब कुछ मन बुद्धि लगाते हैं कि कैसे आसपास
नहीं,
की
ऐसा
ड्यूटीज।
नहीं है। देखो क्या है, सब लोग एक यूनिट में हैं और थोड़ा हमको मैच्योर रहना पड़ेगा देखने के लिए कौन क्या है, उनकी स्थिति क्या है। अब जैसे गुरु के पास जा रहे हैं, तो गुरु जी जो हमको कुछ बोल रहे हैं, नेचुरली उसका वेट ज्यादा है। करेक्ट ना? नेचुरली वो हमारे लिए ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होल्ड करती है। लेकिन पॉइंट क्या है कि इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि जो बाकी साधुज हैं वो यूजलेस है। ठीक है? और ये हमें ऐसा नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि साधु हमको गुरु से दूर लेके चले जाएंगे या गुरु हमको साधुओं से दूर लेके चले जाएंगे। वो हरि गुरु वैष्णवाद एक यूनिट है, गुरु साधु शास्त्र एक यूनिट है। और गुरु का पोजीशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि वही हमारे को कृष्ण के बारे में बताते हैं, कृष्ण से जोड़ते हैं, और वही हमको कृष्ण के पास लेके जाते हैं। लेकिन हमारा ये मटेरियल एक्सपेक्टेशन रहना कि मुझे जो, मैं जो कर रहा हूँ जो सोच रहा हूँ वो गुरु को पता है, वो गलत है। करेक्ट ना?
मुझे थैंक यू सो मच फॉर अपना टाइम दिया। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर।
अरे, यस। और दूसरा, आपका ना अगर प्रैक्टिकल अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं रहेगा तो आपका फेथ कम हो जाएगा गुरु पे और कृष्ण पे। आपका प्रैक्टिकल अंडरस्टैंडिंग रहना चाहिए, जो भगवान चाहते हैं हमारे बारे में वो गुरु को पता रहेगा। हर चीज गुरु को क्यों भगवान बताएंगे, और हर चीज गुरु को क्यों पता रहेगा? करेक्ट ना? फिर क्या आपको वो रहेगा, अरे मेरे जीवन में इतनी कठिनाई आई और गुरु जी को पता भी नहीं है मेरे बारे में, तो हमारे गुरु जी सही नहीं है या ये प्रोसेस सही नहीं है। तो ये प्रैक्टिकल एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग भी रहना चाहिए इसका। ठीक है? यस इंद्र।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। हम
प्रणाम।
जी प्रभु जी, ये पूछना था कि जैसे अभी हम डिस्कस किया, आपने बताया कि जो बाकी ड्यूटीज भी रहते हैं या बाकी संप्रदाय के रिनंसिएट्स रहते हैं, तो उनको भी हमको रिस्पेक्ट देना चाहिए। तो जैसे कोई इस्कॉन के सन्यासी होते हैं तो हम उनको तुरंत दंडवत कर लेते हैं, तो क्या बाकी सन्यासी को वैसे दंडवत करना चाहिए?
प्रभुपाद जी तो बोलते हैं कि दंडवत करना चाहिए।
हाँ, ओके ओके बड़ी वन मोर क्वेश्चन वाज, जैसे
लेकिन
इंद्र को। हाँ,
हमारे भक्तों के मन में वो भाव आता नहीं कि बाकी सन्यासी इसको दंडवत करे। लेकिन प्रभुपाद जी तो बोले हैं कि करना चाहिए। तो मैंने कुछ स्थितियों में दंडवत किया है, और अगर कुछ वैसी स्थिति है कि उनको दंडवत नहीं कर पा रहे हैं तो कम से कम उनकी तरफ झुक के हरे कृष्णा बोल सकते हैं। बट बेस्ट इज टू पे दंडवत, ठीक है।
यस यस प्रभु जी। एंड प्रभु जी वन मोर क्वेश्चन, लाइक जैसे इंद्र को इसमें एक रिग्रेट हुआ था ऑफेंस करने के बाद, वैसे ही जो हम परीक्षित महाराज के केस में देखते हैं कि उन्होंने जब सो कॉल्ड ऑफेंस किया तब उनको भी थोड़ा रिग्रेट फील हुआ। तो उनके केस में तो इतना अच्छा हो गया कि फिर भागवतधाम आ गया और उनको मतलब भगवतधाम भी चले गए। तो इंद्र के केस में ऐसा।
नहीं, देखो दोनों का स्थिति अलग है। परीक्षित महाराज तो भगवान के शुद्ध भक्त हैं, उनके केस में तो वो लीला भगवान ने ऑर्गेनाइज कराई। परीक्षित महाराज को कैसे प्यास लग गया, वो कैसे इतने तकलीफ में आ गए, पहला पॉइंट। दूसरा, क्योंकि वो शुद्ध भक्त हैं तो परीक्षित महाराज का थॉट क्या था, मुझसे ये बहुत बड़ी गलती हो गई है, मैंने एक ब्राह्मण का अपराध किया है, अब भगवान आप मुझे पनिशमेंट दो, लेट कैलेमिटी कम अपॉन मी, ये परीक्षित महाराज सोच रहे हैं। और इंद्र क्या सोच रहे हैं, अब चलो माफी मांग के अपना अकाउंट 0-0 कर लेता है। ये मिक्स्ड भक्त है ना। तो परीक्षित महाराज तो शुद्ध भक्त हैं। जब उनको पता चला कि श्रृंगी ने कर्ज किया, खुश हो गए कि देखो भगवान की क्या कृपा है, भगवान को पता था कि मैं धन ऐश्वर्य से इतना आसक्त हूँ, समथिंग लाइक दिस वाज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर मी टू बिकम डिटैच। तो उनका तो स्थिति बहुत अलग है। करेक्ट ना इंद्रनील को।
यस 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 प्रभु जी, अंडरस्टूड अंडरस्टूड।
तो इंद्र के साथ ये होगा कि उनका अभी सारा संपत्ति चला जाएगा। उन पे आक्रमण होगा अभी। Okay, so thank you very much, all devotees, for taking out time and coming. So,